Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this demonstration here on bookkeeping. This is my bookkeeping program. I know some guys they use QuickBooks. I just never made it to that point. I don't even know where to get it. I don't even know even how much it costs. I just never got to that point yet. So I decided to create my own bookkeeping spreadsheet. I know people, if you have the skills, if you know how to make your own program, more power to you. So I know how to make my own. Plus, it could help better my um, and keep me up to date with all the well, not up to date, but uh, keep me freshly into messing with computers and softwares and stuff like that and spreadsheets. I just like to keep my my skills going. So anyway, let's go ahead and get right into this demonstration here. So I had already put my numbers in for a faster video. I'm a very slow type. I don't want you guys waiting for me until I type in all of this information. Um, so yeah, so like for an example, for your pickup date, this will be your very first load. Okay, we're just going to only do one load for right now, so that you can get a better understanding of how this thing works. So let's go ahead and include the pickup date right here. For an example, you pick this load up on 8/15/2022, and your beginning odometer. How I do my beginning odometer, I record my beginning odometer at my emptied out location. My emptied out location will be the beginning of my next load odometer. Okay, so that's how I do mine. All right, go ahead and include your trip number right here and where you picked the load up from and where you delivered that load. Okay, and right here you include your deadhead miles. You will get your deadhead miles from your dispatcher. They will tell you your deadhead miles, including your loaded miles. All right. If you had weighed the load, you will include the price right here. Which actually I need to change that to currency. Okay. Uh, just give me a second. Let's go ahead and change that to currency, and there we have it, $13. Okay. Um. Oh, and by the way, if you guys need to make any changes on this, the workbook is protected. Like for this sheet right here is protected. In order to unprotect it, it's not password protected. So you can go in here and you can just go to format and you can just simply unprotect the sheet. Okay. So the reason why I have this protected, just in case if someone that's unfamiliar with where all the formulas are located, they want overwrite the formulas, because the formulas is what gives this spreadsheet function. Okay, so all right, let's continue on here. All right, so now your ending odometer, when you empty it out, you put your, like when you go get to your final destination, you make sure you record your odometer. All right, I record all of my odometers, and you also include your delivery date, and of course at the end it will add up the physical miles driven. What I mean by physical miles, the miles that your truck actually been rolling. All right. So this is not your deadhead and the loaded miles that you get from your dispatcher. This is something different. You get paid off these miles, but you don't get paid off these miles. All right. So these miles here will determine your average miles per gallon. Okay. Now let's move on. And of course, right here at the bottom, it adds up all of the miles for your deadhead and all of the miles for your loaded miles, um, and your lumper pay, etc. All right. Now, I only have this thing set up for 9 loads. Okay. Like again, if you're familiar with how to program this thing, you can always insert more rows. Okay. But okay, all right. So let's move on to your fillings. I did fill up 2 times for this load. All right. So I will include the date that I filled up, the location where I filled up, the trip number, because the trip number would be the same as your load number, okay, for that trip. All right, and every time when I fuel up, I always write down the mileage, okay, not the mileage up here or over here. I'm talking about the mileage when I'm at the fuel stop, okay. I read the odometer for that, and then when you look at your fuel receipt, it will tell you how many gallons you pumped, and your price, okay, and your def gallons. Actually, this right here is very important that you put these 3 digits. The reason why I didn't put 3 digits here is because, well, actually, hmm, well, that's not right. Okay, let's go. Yeah, sometimes when you're like right on the money. Oh, yeah, 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 you're right. Sometimes you get the price part on the money, like, but your gallons, well, yeah, these are gallons. Yeah, your price. Sometimes you can make your price, um, yeah, sometimes you can make your price like right on point, and sometimes you cannot. So, yeah, uh, let's see why this is like that. Okay, so that's why. My bad. There we go. All right. I believe all of them are correct. All right, let's move on. So now, let's protect that again. Yeah, make sure you include the exact number here that's on your fuel receipt, and for the the gallons as well. I mean, I'm sorry, the diesel price. Oh, I'm getting lost in my own program here. All right, so I did put some def. I put 5.062 gallons, and the price I put 5.289. All right, and for my other fueling, I didn't put any def. All right, and it just adds everything. Now the total should match your fuel receipt. All right. Now down here we would have your maintenance repairs. Let's say for an example you went to I don't know, Gary, Indiana. They had to replace a steer tire or a drive tire. You would put the date they did it, the location, Gary, Indiana, for an example, and you would put that trip number. All right, the trip number. Let's just say I had to do a repair up under this trip number here, so I would put that there. Okay, and then your description, tire replacement, steer tire, drive tire, whatever, and then you would put how much they charged you for that replacement. Right here, the driver's self reimbursement. This has nothing to do with the reimbursement that Swift gives you. This is for your own personal debit card. You know, like if you have a business debit card through your LLC, this is for your personal, not your LLC debit card, but your personal debit card. Let's just say uh, you left your business debit card at home, or you know your wife got it, or you just left it in your truck, and the only payment method that that you have to to purchase some light bulbs for your truck, or to purchase some oil for your truck, whatever, I don't know, you would use your personal debit card, and then you would give yourself a reimbursement for that personal debit card that you use. All right, you would put that here. All right, I believe we've covered everything over here. So let's go ahead and go to business costs. You would just simply click this button here, or you can go down here to your tab and you can go to business costs. All right, so I'm gonna click that button. All right, so now right here, um, this right here, this was for another demonstration that I was doing. But the truck that I got from Swift through the MRP, I paid, I believe it was 67,000. What's the price? 67,000 something. I forgot what it was. I'm gonna just put a number in here. I forgot what it was. Zero down payment, no interest. Um, no interest. Um, actually, I don't pay this much, so I'm pretty sure I got the truck for a little less than 67. Let's just say 61256. Because what I paid was right around four. Um, oh, no wonder. Look at that. That's 671,000. That's not right. All right. There we go. So now let's move this on down some. Let's go one. I don't know. That's close enough. Let's just say, but I don't pay this much. I pay like $455. But this is just an example. Um, so there go your expenses for your truck payment right there. So all of your expenses is taken out. All right, so let's go ahead and move. We will get back to this later on. Let's go ahead and talk about the pay scale. All right. So of course, we have formulas here. All right. There's the formula. And what this formula does, according to your deadhead mouse, it looks at the rate over here. Okay. I'm sorry. The deadhead mouse, it looks at this rate right here. For all your deadhead mouse, you get 90 cent. Now for your loaded mouse, it changes, and you can see the formula up here. Very long formula, guys. Oops. Very long formula. And what it does, it looks at the pay scale, the sliding pay scale. All right. Anything that's 1 to 250 miles, it catches that $1.50. So let's say for an example, you did, I don't know, you did a load that was only going 220 miles. Then it will jump over here and grab this one. Anything over 800 miles, it will grab this one, and it will put that rate in this box. All right, which give you I'm sorry, pay miles for that loaded miles driven. All right. Now let's go ahead and move on over here to your average miles per gallon. So this is based on the fuel that you actually put in your truck. All right. So this is very accurate. All right. Now, of course, it's going to read a little bit less just because we put fuel in there for only one stop. Okay, for only one stop, and we put more fuel that's required to make our delivery. So that's why this is showing 6.35 whatever average miles per gallon. I'm pretty sure you guys know how that goes. All right, so right here you have put in your portal information. All right. If you went to California or on the West Coast side, then you would put in what the portal tells you for your West Coast, and for your expense reimburse. If Swift gave you any reimbursements for like lumper pay, you would include that as well. Okay, because you already know that you had already did a lumper pay, but for this example, our lumper pay was $0. We didn't have any lumper. But pay lumper, if you did pay lumper, and then if Swift pays you, and if your money's not right, then you know why Swift didn't give you your reimbursement. You will catch that. Okay, so um, all right, let's move on. Now, your detention pay, if Swift didn't pay you for your detention pay, you would catch that as well. All right, because this will not match the portal. All right, your revenue will not match your portal. All right, that's why I have these in red, because this would be your revenue. This would be all of your total charges. All of these red boxes are supposed to match your portal. All right, the exact number to the penny. Now, the amount paid to owner, it should match. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Oh, and by the way, yeah, the reason why this is showing in the negative is because we need to include our fuel surcharge. All right. So our fuel surcharge, for an example, I don't know what it is now, but let's just say the fuel surcharge was 0.63. All right, you can match this up with what you get from your portal. All right. And if you don't know how to do that, let's go ahead and go to the portal, and I will show you what to look for. Okay. Um, just in case if you guys don't know, I will tell you, but I'm pretty sure most of you guys know how to find out what the fuel surcharge is. All right. So let's go ahead and go to dashboard. I'm sorry, my info, settlements, and for an example, let's go here. Now, if you look here, it will give you your fuel surcharge right here, the FSC, and that should match. Okay, you need to include that fuel surcharge 0.652. All right, let's go ahead and put 0.652. Now this right here, this pink box right here, the reason why it's pink because my wife did this. She does all my bookkeeping. So I just send her all my load information. She takes care of all of that for me. I don't have to do anything. All right. So now, because she gets confused, the fuel surcharge, for, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just confuses her. So the fuel card charges, that's what we named it. This pretty much your fuel bonus. It would show like up under your expenses, you would have like a negative number. All right, and you would take all of your negative numbers and you would add them up, and then you would put that number in this box here. Okay. Oop, wait a minute. Okay, you would put that in this box, and I believe I don't remember she put a negative in there as well, but it's one of them. But yeah, if it don't match it, you can just take that negative out. I believe she puts the negative in there. Oops, wait, I'm not sure. I forgot. So, and then like if you have any fuel taxes, you would check and see. You would go to your portal, and then you would look at your fuel taxes. It would show up under expenses. All right, I'm sorry, charges. Your fuel taxes. It will show fuel taxes. All right, and you would include that for your stops and pickups. You include that as well. And your previous balance, this is just in case if your previous settlement was in the negatives. If you had a previous settlement that was in the negative, you would include that negative, and that negative will show up right there. It will show negative. If that's the case, then you would put that there. That way, you could keep track of all your negative payments, because when you're in the negatives, you don't pay taxes on that, right? And we would be getting into the taxes part. Now, your previous balance. Oh, I'm sorry. I've already covered that. All right, so let's go ahead and move along. And if you notice, when I put the fuel surcharge, you get more revenue. Okay. Now this is not in the negatives anymore. Okay. Now again, this is just for only one load. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the other um, expenses and taxes. Now, right here we have our fixed expenses. I'm not sure if I covered this, but right here, you have your truck payment, you have your insurance, your bobtail coverage, your glass insurance, and so on. Your elite pass. All these things, all of these expenses should match your portal. Okay. Again, it should match your portal. Like right here, you have your IEL MRP. The deduction should match. Everything should match. Okay, all these numbers should match what you have. Everything is calculated. Like for an example, this right here should match. All of these numbers should match your portal. All right. Now let's go ahead and move on down to um, your temp expenses. Your temp expenses needs to be updated because your temp expenses has a budget, I'm sorry, not budget, but a balance. Yeah, a balance. So you would include the balance. If you don't have any more balance due, you just change this to zero. Okay, change it to zero. Now, for me myself, my driver pay. I know some people they pay themselves S corp, but me, I'm sole proprietor, but I pretend that I am. paying myself through W-2, which I am actually not. Whatever I pay myself, whatever's left over, I just put that into my banking account, my LLC, and then I would just cut myself a check, and I will show you how I do that. But I still take out the taxes. All right. So for the business, I take out 2%, 2.5% for my state, and 12% for my federal. Although when you're taxed as sole proprietor, this will be more. And although I'm pretending that I'm taxing as W-2, I just add on to that, and I will show you how I do that. All right, so my Social Security for on the employer side, because the employee pays half of my Social Security, so I include that as well as 7.5%. So here is what I pay myself. I pay myself right here. I pay myself 45 cents a mile, and then I will show you how that is deducted. So this is $473. Okay. Now let's go ahead and move on over to my check stub. This is what I pay myself, fellas. All right. So now for my check stub, you would need to put in like for your LLC, you put in your employer information here. This is not a real address. Um, you would put your your employee information here, the address, and then for your employee, you will also include their driver code, their name, uh, their address where they live, and also your employee tax information. So you want to withhold 12%, state, the FICA, and the FMHI. Now remember I told you that my FICA I take out on my side, on the employee side, I take out 7.5%, and also for the company side, the company also pays the other half of my Social Security, which is another 7.5%. All right, so although I text myself as sole proprietor in real life, I'm pretending that I do a W-2. So this right here will be added on to my sole proprietor when I file my sole proprietor taxes. I will just add that on, okay? Now, right here is my check stub. This is what my check stub would look like if I was to print it out, okay? So let's go ahead and zoom in on this right here. And if you see here, that's the business name. And this is my name that I'm paying myself as and my address. And you will have my mileage pay. I pay myself 45 cents a mile. And there is my gross revenue. And then this is all my taxes that I will be taking out, okay, for my own personal paycheck. All right. And when you do your next paycheck, see, this will be my very first paycheck. Now, the next paycheck I do, it will just carry everything over to year to date. And my next pay, my third paycheck, it will just add on. It just keeps adding on to year to date. All right, so all of that is all formulated. All right, let's go ahead and close out of this. And also, right here, let's just go ahead and close out this pay period. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and record. Now if you see here, it won't let me because it's telling me you must record data in the worksheet business costs first. So let's go ahead and go over to business costs and record all of my data. All right, so we just simply click the record button, and this is good. The reason why I made this button here is to make it easier to record data for tax purposes or for my own personal data, um, bookkeeping records. I'm gonna just go ahead and click that. Please provide a pay period. You see there? Now it's telling me that I need to go to my check stub and provide a pay period, so it won't let me. So let's go ahead and go to my check stub and include my pay period. So let's just say my pay period is 8/25 22. I don't know. I'm just putting it in there. All right. And let's go ahead and go back to business calls. and click record data. All right, so now it recorded all of the data for that load. All right, now let's go ahead and go to my paycheck, and let's click the update button. And what that's going to do is just going to update my record. It's going to record all of that history. All right, now that we've done that, and if you notice here, when I did that, it carried everything over to year to date. Okay, you see here, it carried everything over right here. It moved everything over. Now, when it comes to me creating my next check, it will add on to that. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to load information and record our last portion of the data. And record. And if you know, it cleared out everything and it's ready for its next period, its next load week. week. All right, so now that we have all that done, let's go ahead and look at the data part. All right, so it records all of your information. Everything that Swift pays you that's on their portal, it puts it into this right here. Okay, your performance, your fixed expenses, all of your truck payments and insurance, it keeps record of all of that. Your flexible expenses, your temp expenses, your taxes that you paid, or your withholding, and also your income. All right, and also it keeps track of the pay data. All right, your pay data. All right, gross pay, net pay. This is your employee pay information. It keeps track of all of that. Now, it also keeps track of the overhead. All right, this is pretty much like a summary of your driver. Okay, now let's go into the load history. Now this, it keeps track of all the loads that you've ran, all right, throughout the year, and also it keeps track of all of your fuel. Okay, it keeps track of all of your fuel. And this right here, this is incorrect. This will actually update whenever you do your next load, your next load cycle. Okay. All right. So actually, let's see if, yeah. All right. All right. So the maintenance, it records all of your repairs throughout the year. Whatever repairs you had done to the truck, it keeps track of all of that. And also for your reimbursements, okay? It keeps track of all of that. And then it also gives you a summary of everything, all right? All, how much you made for the year, all of your taxable revenue. This is pretty much the net that your business brought in, and your profit. Okay. ABC Transportation's net profit. So, and the reason why this is showing negative, because the driver took most of the money, because the company truck never really wasn't making that many miles in order to make profit, because it was only like 1,200 miles for that week. All right. Your employee taxes withheld, that's how much it held for that very first paycheck. And the more paychecks you pay that employee, then this number goes up. Okay. So this number here is what you would, like, if you're hiring an actual employee, this is the money that you would submit to IRS, all right, for your tax withholdings. All right, now for your employer federal taxes, this is what you would pay um, for that. Employer state taxes and so on. And this is the part of your FICA that you need to pay on behalf your half of your employee. Now, right here, your employee direct deposit, it keeps track of all of your employee direct deposits, your MRP deductions, your IAL escrow, and all of your reimbursements. Okay, so I believe that's it. I believe I have covered everything. Let me make sure if I left anything out. I believe that's about it. If you guys have any questions, or if you want a copy of this program, please let me know. You can direct message me with your email, and then I will send it to that email that you provided me with. Okay, so yeah, um, please give me some feedback. Any feedback would be great. All right, if you see something that was incorrect, or if you have a different opinion, please do let me know. All right, thanks for watching.